Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome to a very special breaking news live stream regarding CM Punk. For several weeks, it's been rumored that CM Punk would join the WWE Backstage crew, providing his thoughts on the WWE storylines. But we saw the first official edition of Backstage air, and there was no CM Punk. And this led to people believing, well, the deal must have fallen through. He's not coming back. And then bam, week 2, 11:59, right before midnight, CM Punk shows up at the very end of the second episode of WWE Backstage. Now, what does this mean? The internet is blowing up as expected. Everyone's wondering, is CM Punk coming back to WWE? Right now, he is working for Fox. So let's go ahead and make that clear right now. It is a Fox deal. He's under contract to Fox, not WWE. But, and this is a but, this opens the door. This opens the door for WWE and CM Punk to have a working relationship. CM Punk has gone on record and stated that he is open to talking with WWE. He's open to talking with Vince McMahon and Triple H and everyone else. Money talks. At the end of the day, I think CM Punk, much like the rest of us, is willing to do business. And I think WWE is the same way. Vince has said it himself. And you look over the years, you've had people say they would never return to WWE. And I've even talked about this. I've talked about this many times over the past 5 years. People have asked me, do you think CM Punk will ever return to WWE in some capacity? And my answer was always yes, even though people were just believing 100% that CM Punk would not return. And my response was always, everybody comes back. There are guys that vowed to never return. Ultimate Warrior, Bruno Sammartino, Bret Hart, they all eventually came back. And some people believed that Sting would never work for WWE. He showed up. Anything can happen in wrestling. That is a saying that has been around for many years, and it really is true. Anything can happen, and never say never. Now, will CM Punk appear at Survivor Series? I would bet against it. I would not put money down if I was going to gamble. I would not say CM Punk is showing up at Survivor Series. However, this would be a great opportunity for him to return. Imagine the pop that he would get if he showed up in Chicago and confronted, say, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar beats Rey Mysterio. CM Punk's music hits. He comes out there. He says there's only one thing that could bring him back to WWE, and that is a WrestleMania main event with Brock Lesnar, getting payback from SummerSlam 2013, and CM Punk finally getting that main event spot at WrestleMania that he wanted. You could use this storyline, easy storyline to set up WrestleMania. Now, the interesting thing about this is that WrestleMania tickets officially go on sale Friday, and of course there's a pre-sale. I know this is probably just a coincidence, but I find it interesting, the timing that CM Punk comes back right before WrestleMania tickets go on sale. Whether there's anything to it or not, it's going to make people think maybe there's a chance CM Punk appears at WrestleMania. And there's a whole bunch of buzz right now about CM Punk, and people click on Twitter, they click on CM Punk's name, and then they'll click on WWE's hashtag, and they'll see WrestleMania tickets going on sale this Friday. Again, I think it's a very interesting coincidence. And yes, I do think he will go into the Hall of Fame, and I think that is just a matter of when. Will he wrestle again? That remains to be seen, but I think there's a decent chance that one day he will wrestle again. Seth Rollins went on Twitter and teased a match with CM Punk. He basically just tweeted out, fight me. And Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, the Universal Champion, also tweeted out about CM Punk. Power Packers 90 with a $5 super chat says, calling it now, he'll screw Hunter at Survivor Series, setting up a rematch at WrestleMania with Triple H. Well, they could definitely do that. They could definitely do CM Punk versus Triple H at WrestleMania. But to me, the thing that would make the most sense would be for CM Punk to face Brock Lesnar, because we all know Brock Lesnar is the guy in WWE. He's the top guy. He's the top box office attraction. So naturally, CM Punk would want to be in the main event. But there's a lot of side storylines you could do too. You could have CM Punk issue the challenge, and then Seth Rollins calls out CM Punk and says, hey, you've been gone for 5 years. You deserted the fans. You don't deserve the opportunity. And you could potentially set up Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, maybe at the Royal Rumble. Winner gets to face Brock at WrestleMania. I know there's the whole Royal Rumble thing. You could also put CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of different side things you could do and side storylines with CM Punk that you could put out there. And I do not think, this is one thing I don't think will happen. I do not think we'll see CM Punk wrestle full time again. So if he does wrestle again, I could see him doing a few matches. I could see him doing a match at Royal Rumble or a match at WrestleMania and do the light part-time schedule. There's a lot of guys CM Punk could face, a lot of new talent. You know, he never faced Samoa Joe in WWE. He could face Aleister Black. He could face Ricochet. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Cindy is like CM Punk versus Shane McMahon for the best in the world. I don't think we're going to see that, although maybe, never say never, as they say. Dylan with a $2 super chat says, you would think that AEW was tailor-made for CM Punk. Oh well. Again, money talks, and maybe there was some kind of falling out between CM Punk and AEW. If you recall back several months ago, CM Punk made some comments about AEW, and it looked like, unless it was a work, that there was some kind of falling out between them. CM Punk was mentioning how that they didn't even call him or anything. They sent him a text message and all that stuff. Who knows what the deal is with that, but I always felt like if CM Punk was going to come back, he would come back to WWE just because that would be where he can make the most money and be on the biggest stage. Yeah, he could do AEW, but I think he would want to go where he can make the most money. And I'm not sure that, as wealthy as the Khans are, I don't know if they could afford the price tag that WWE could offer. And maybe CM Punk, like just his ego and his own personality, he might like the idea of getting paid by the company that was in a lawsuit against him. And he's like, hey, now these guys are paying me again. So it could be that as well. Monfile9, thank you for that. $5 super chat from Monfile9 says, does anybody remember Lars Sullivan? What happened to his push? So we're talking about Lars Sullivan here for a minute. Lars Sullivan is injured. I'm not sure when he's coming back, although last report that was out there, the injury was progressing slower than expected. He might not be back for a while. I'm not sure what's going to happen with him, if WWE is going to invest in him again. They gave him that push, and then he had his own personal issues, and then they gave him a second push, and then he got hurt. And that's going to hurt his chances because there's so few spots and so many guys trying to get those spots. Lars Sullivan is still with WWE, just making that clear to you guys. He has not been released. He's still there. He's injured. He's out of action. And Cindy wants to know about AJ Lee. Anything's possible. Again, if CM Punk comes back, I could definitely see AJ Lee feeling comfortable enough to want to come back. I think she has been content doing her own thing, being out of the limelight, spending time with her husband. But if CM Punk does work in WWE again, I think that the door would definitely be open for her to come back if she wanted to. But that would be on her if that was something that she wanted to do. Psycho Jet Black with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Psycho Jet Black. I do appreciate it. He wants to know, how about CM Punk versus EC3? Also, Survivor Series is in Illinois. Oops, wow. Illinois, wow. Illinois, just saying. I do not think we're going to see CM Punk versus EC3. To quote myself, highly unlikely in all likelihood. EC3 is lucky to just get in the Battle Royal on the WWE show. I do not think he's facing CM Punk, but I know you're joking around there. And yeah, Survivor Series Illinois, of course it's naturally going to lead to speculation, and you guys better get ready for it. I thought it was going to die down, honestly. I thought after he did not appear on Backstage, that was going to be the end of it. There was going to be no more mentioning of CM Punk. But now it's going to start up again. Survivor Series, will CM Punk show up? Royal Rumble, will CM Punk show up? WrestleMania, will CM Punk show up? So it's just going to happen all over again now. And at some point, I think he's going to do it. The money's good enough. There's enough buzz about it. He's a businessman. You know, another $1 million, it's hard to turn down. And he might feel intrigued by a WrestleMania main event against Brock Lesnar. And Monfile9 with another $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it, as I do appreciate everyone making the super chat contributions. He says, CM Punk has not wrestled in nearly 5 years. Do you think his in-ring skills will be affected? I think he might not be quite as good as he once was, but I think he'll be as good once as he ever was. I think that CM Punk will get into ring shape if he does return, and I think that he'll do whatever it takes to be the best performer possible. But yeah, he's 5 years older, so naturally he's going to be slowed down a little bit. And keep in mind, this is all speculation. CM Punk, he's working for Fox right now, and I think we're all jumping the gun thinking that he's going to show up. But I would not be surprised if he does wrestle again. I just don't know when it's going to be. And Stephen Osborne says, somehow I do not think Punk wants to wrestle anymore. He's trying to break through into show business. That's why they could lock him into a deal with Fox to keep him from AEW. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, but I think it's Fox wanting to get the viewership numbers up, and they were from the get-go. I think it was a wise move to try to get him on anyways, because CM Punk is going to get people talking about your show naturally. But now I think because the premiere numbers were so low, and I'm still shocked by how low those numbers were, something like 50,000 viewers, I think that maybe there was more of an urgency to bring in Punk, and maybe the dollar amount to get him went up, and Punk agreed to the contract last minute. I mean, that seems to be something going on as well, that there were ongoing negotiations between CM Punk and Fox. And another interesting thing that I forgot to mention was that last week after the Backstage premiere, Booker T went on his podcast and addressed CM Punk. He mentioned that, you know, you don't give away everything on the first show. And that was, now in hindsight, that was a tip-off. Now, what's interesting to me is that, according to PW Insider, Renee Young was the only person that knew CM Punk was going to be there. But to me, Booker T's comments about how it's just the first show, guys, you got and wait and see, we're not going to throw out everything on the first show, makes me wonder if Booker T knew something that CM Punk was on his way, but perhaps he just didn't know on that particular show that CM Punk was going to be there. But yeah, interesting comments from CM Punk last week. Power Packers 90 says Booker was saving face. Perhaps, maybe he knew nothing and he was just saying, you know, keep watching and anything can happen. But yeah, I definitely find the comments he made to be interesting. So that's everything that's going on with CM Punk right now. Make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding CM Punk. It's turning into a very busy news day. And yeah, I mentioned this, Mike Nixon, possibly CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, maybe even Roman Reigns. There's a lot of possibilities if he decides to come back. I mean, CM Punk, if he wants the money, he's going to get it. He just is. And Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, is CM Punk a hypocrite if he ever comes back to WWE? You could say that, but you could also say that about Bruno, who was very outspoken about WWE. You could say that about Bret Hart. You could say that about all these guys. I mean, money does talk. And you cannot really judge the guy unless you're in his shoes. But again, CM Punk working for Fox, appearing on the WWE Backstage show. That's what's going on right now. Everything else is up in the air, but certainly it's gotten a lot of people talking, and it's going to be a very interesting period here with CM Punk. And I'm curious to see what the numbers are for Backstage if WWE gets those numbers up, and if that helps CM Punk with his negotiations or not. If the numbers don't go up, maybe WWE will feel that it's not worth it to try to negotiate with him. So we'll see. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of variables. NoDQ.com will keep you updated. I will be back later tonight to review AEW Dynamite and also give my thoughts on NXT. So subscribe, turn on the notification bell for updates, and I will see you guys later on for my AEW/NXT review. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Take care.